What is up, guys? If you're new here, my name is Josh. Today I wanted to talk about something that not everyone goes through, but a lot of people do. And if you clicked on this video, you probably do or used to. And if you don't, you're just here to support. Yeah, thank you so much. Um, but yeah, that thing is blaming others, or at least not only blaming others, but blaming other things, like not just blaming people. Because we can find that as an escape as to why we don't do a lot of things. We seem to blame how we grew up or how we were raised as to why we're a certain way, which that has a huge factor in it. I'm not going to discredit that because it does. But once you get to a certain age where that shouldn't affect you anymore and you know you have to grow out of it, meaning grow up, it shouldn't be a problem anymore. Of course, there's going to be other factors, but the main thing is that we like to blame the way we grew up on why we don't act a certain way or why we do act a certain way. For example, I'll use myself. I would say that because I grew up in a home that wasn't very expressive or didn't really have those type of deep conversations or really conversational at all, honestly, I find myself not being very good at conversations and not being very good at deep conversations at that, and also not being able to express myself, or at least in the past. But guess what? I am 21 years old. That's more than enough for you to do your own thing. Now, I'm at that age where I don't have to go by that, meaning I can just learn how to. I can just learn how to. There'll be times where I can't have that with certain people, and I can't be expressive. I can't, you know, talk a certain way or have these deep conversations, or I couldn't. And all I needed to do was work on it. But at that time, I would use it as an excuse, like, oh yeah, I just grew up in a house like this, and you know, you can only use that for so long. Basically, it only works for so long, especially if you're still a child, if you're still a kid. You can't just, I know you can't just, just do more. Obviously, you're still a child, you're not an adult yet. But yes, I would use that as an excuse as to why I can't. And even though it's valid, it doesn't mean I have to stay there. I'm not invalidating anybody on the way they grew up and how they act and stuff, but if you stay a certain way that you can grow out of, then that's just on you at that point. It's like your parents. If you grew up poor, right? I'm someone who grew up poor. If you grew up poor and then you stay poor as you grow up, that's on you. Meaning, if you're an adult, if you're in adulthood, and if you're in adulthood, I don't know why I said it like that. If you're in adulthood, you would do what you can to get out of that, right? You have all these opportunities. You can get a job and save up. Some people say, oh, when I get a job, I have to pay all these things on bills. Get a second job. That's where it goes to when I say people blame other things around them. They say, well, oh, I can't do this because of the bills. And get a second job. Like, oh, I still want to live life. Well, sometimes you can't really do that. Sometimes you're going to have to work hard. Sometimes you're going to have to work for what you want. And stop excusing yourself because of the things that you yourself aren't giving you. Why can't you use one job for bills and one job to save up? Even if it's just for 6 months. Literally 6 months could do so much. Even if you just had to do that for 6 months, one pays your bills, the other one you could literally save and save and save. But it's too much. Oh, well, if you stay in that mindset, then okay, you're gonna stay poor. Does everyone who's rich just chill and make money? I don't think so. And that's what a lot of people don't really understand, is that they like making excuses on the things around them. I could make an excuse out of the place that I live. Oh, I live on this side of Jersey, so it's hard for me to make it out. It's not hard. You just need to know how to find a way. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the gym, Diamond Gym here in Jersey. It's like the ones that do all those crazy workouts and stuff like that. And I used to not hate, but I used to not like watching them or seeing the clips. I was like, yo, this is ridiculous. And I still think the workout's a little ridiculous, but the mindset behind it is not at all. See, they work out in a different manner than probably most of people do, right? So their mindset behind it is you have to find a way. If you're on your 50th rep of a tricep extension and you can't go to 55, find a way. You're struggling there, find a way. The big guy, his name is Unk. He's basically like the coach there or whatever. He's just the guy that runs the gym. Bro, this guy, he explained his story, and the way he explains it is so good. He says, he's a firefighter, by the way. If he's in a fire, he's not gonna have all these resources, right? If he has to get his son, his daughter, and his wife, all his kids and his wife out of the building, he has to find a way how to do it. He won't have water. By the way, in the gym, they don't drink water, so that's why he does the no water rule. He won't have water. He's gonna have to find a way to get his children out. And that right there, just like, I was like, wow, that's a great mindset. It pushes you mentally to really think, okay, I gotta do this no matter what, and make no excuse behind it. Your body gives up on you, push beyond that. Push beyond it. Find a way. But going back to what I was originally talking about, stop blaming other things. Stop blaming the way you grew up. Stop blaming your environment. Stop blaming people in general. I could sit here and say, oh, I blame not having a father for a certain way that I act. But when I say that, it's like, why am I using that as an excuse instead of me being the adult that I am? I'm 21 years old again. Why can't I just change that? Once you get tired of not acting, you see it and you're like, okay, I'm done with this. I'm done with this. You know how I talk a lot about action in my videos. There was a lot of points in my life where I didn't really have action. So I said, I'm tired of this. I didn't really have to act for anybody ever. And not really for myself either. Actually, I did, when I was younger. But I would blame it on not having that type of role model. When the role model that I always needed was God. That was the only role model I needed to push forward. So again, I can sit here and blame whatever on whatever. But it really doesn't matter when you get to a certain age. You can't really blame anything else but yourself. It doesn't work that way anymore. You're gonna have to change. You're gonna have to put a step forward. Even if it's little by little, you have to do it. If not, you're gonna be stuck. That's pretty much it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you get something out of this. Someone out there, at least one person, I don't mind. But thank you guys. God loves you. I love you. Peace.